Morning. So my neighbor Steve asked me if you can make healthy food on the griddle. I was like, you can, but I'm not. I'm trying to put on some pounds for wintertime. It's like 30 degrees out here. I'm trying to make the food that gives a little extra tummy around here and to keep me insulated on my way to work. I'm trying to make the type of food that has you lying to your doctor and telling him you're going to start your diet next week. For example, I like to take bacon, thick cut bacon with 2 C's, not the thin stuff. And I was like, you know what? This by itself isn't unhealthy enough. I'm gonna go ahead and add sugar, as you do, lots of it, brown sugar. And then I'm gonna put it on the griddle while it's warming up so that the sugar doesn't melt and burn. Well, it's gonna melt, but we don't want the sugar to burn. And then so that it renders out all the fat, because thick cut bacon, you can accidentally burn the edges before you get the whole thing done if you cook it too high. So put it on while it's warming up with the sugar. Keep flipping it regularly so you're caramelizing the sugar, you're not burning the sugar. And then you get candied bacon. Wow. Delicious? Yes. Did I steal this from First Watch? Maybe. I don't know. But you should definitely give it a try. Next we got breakfast tacos, which is basically my take on a Taco Bell breakfast. So you know it's horrible for you. Here's how you make it.
Start off with some green peppers and white onions put down in some oil. We're going to hit them up with Malcolm Reed's Grande Gringo. You can use any Mexican seasoning. Malcolm is just a personal hero of mine. There goes some hash browns frozen, just straight from the frozen section. Throw them right on there. So easy, so delicious. Give everything a little mix together there. Make sure we get plenty of seasoning on there for these tacos. And just go ahead and pinch a log of sausage, half a log Bob Evans sausage, pinch that thing right on the griddle. Just throw back to my days at Down on the Farm, Bob Evans. Chop it up, start moving around till it cooks all the pink out of it, just normal ground sausage. Then once all the pink's gone, we're gonna go ahead and mix the onion and pepper and seasoning in with the sausage. Make sure it's all well combined in there. And here comes the fun part. I cut my griddle off here to get it down to a lower temperature, and then I put the eggs right in the sausage. It's just like a big old messy sausage, egg, scramble, peppers, onions. Super delicious, super easy. Sausage kind of helps contain the eggs. Ooh, and cheese, Mexican cheese shredded. Delicious. Now, just let it slowly cook. That's why I cut the griddle off. Mix everything together, let the cheese get in there and the eggs set up. And then our tortillas are gonna go down. Start making our tacos. I toasted them on both sides, added more cheese, because why not? There goes a hash brown, which I cut in half into little triangles. There goes some of the egg sausage mixture. And then we're just toasting up the tortillas. We're gonna fold it over on itself, and oh my, these were absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend Cholula, my favorite hot sauce. Grab some of that green Cholula.
All right, French toast, delicious, right? You know what makes it even more delicious? Stuffing it with cream cheese and pudding. You gotta learn how to make this stuffing. It's good for French toast or pancakes. It's so easy. Highly recommend you learn how to make this for your next breakfast.
So we'll start off with some vanilla pudding, and then I'm gonna add a whipped cream cheese, a whole 16-ounce thing of that. Mix it together, and that's it. That's the filling. It's that easy. You gotta make it. Go ahead and get your bread, your eggs, your cinnamon, your milk. I'm not going to go over making French toast. I'm assuming you know how to make it. If not, I have a video on that. But you just mix that together, throw down your bread. I couldn't find Texas toast. I'm so sad I couldn't find Texas toast this day. But I got this nice white bread. Instead, I think it's Sara Lee's Artisan or Artisanal, or I don't know. It's way too fancy for me. Whatever it was, it turned out good though. Looks good. Then here's the magic. You put the cream cheese pudding in between it, and then you just shingle it on there. You could also do this with pancakes, which I've done before. And then I took some apple pie filling that I put on the griddle, put it right on top. Delicious, must try, extremely sugary and bad for you.
So, if you've had bananas Foster before, you know it's delicious. If you've never made it, what you do is you take an uncomfortable amount of butter with an uncomfortable amount of brown sugar, you melt them down and you add rum. Wow, 3 amazing ingredients right there. butter, sugar, and alcohol. Can't go wrong. Then I put them on top of pancakes.
Look at these pancakes. We're not going to go over making pancakes. I'm sure you know how to make them. But you go ahead and make yourself a couple pancakes. Put them on the griddle. Once they're done, move them to the side. That is my butter and sugar. A whole stick of butter and a half a cup of brown sugar on a pan on a griddle. Whole banana going in there. Ooh, a little bit of Sailor Jerry's. Now we're talking. Son of a Sailor Jerry's. So we're going to add that in there just a little bit and then mix it all together. I tried lighting it on fire. I'm just going to go ahead and ruin this for you. It did not come on camera very well and the fire did not light very high. But I tried for you folks. I really did. So, but I couldn't get the rum to burn. But I kept trying, you know. And then anyways, you just kind of mix it all together and that fire will burn out the alcohol. And keep mixing. The bananas will thicken up with that sugar, and then I just poured it all on top of these pancakes, and holy smokes, it was probably like 2 days worth of calories just going on that plate, but it was worth it, I'll tell you that.
For these steak burritos, I added rice in the inside of it, which almost to me felt like, that might be too healthy. So I went ahead and topped it with a bunch of processed cheese to make up for it.
Here's my marinade for the steak. This is just some cheap, steak is a loose term. It's just some beef that I got from Kroger. I did some oil, some Worcestershire. It's like some stew meat that's already cut up. Soy sauce, throwing it in there. Already pre-made garlic. Then a lime. Oh, lime's running away. Roll your limes and oranges before you cut them. I learned that when I bartended at Cheeseburger Paradise. It's a Jimmy Buffett restaurant. You roll them, it lets the juice out more before you juice them. So juice a whole lime, a whole orange in there, garlic, soy sauce, all that goodness. And then go ahead and put it in the fridge. And I let it marinate overnight. And then the next day, pulled it out, got the griddle warm, hit it with a little bit of oil here. And there goes some peppers and onions. There's the rice, pre-made rice. So it's not raw rice. This is that cooked rice that you microwave, but I'm just heating it up on the griddle. Ooh, there's the Grande Gringo, second appearance in this video. So little peppers, little onions, little Spanish rice that you're just basically steaming on the griddle with some water. It's in that Uncle Ben's packet. Cooking that up, and this is all my filling for the burritos, okay? So once I got that kind of cooked up and going well, I adjusted my temperatures, made sure it was all tossed together, and now that's starting to look good. I'm doing my steak last, you'll notice, because I don't want to overcook it. It's already a cheap cut of meat because I got whatever was on sale that was already chopped up at Kroger, and I just want to get it cooked, and it's small, so I don't want to overcook it. That's why it's going down last. I got it up to about 450 there, you see. I'm really trying to get a nice color on it, cook it quickly, because just those little strips that were already cut out and marinated. More of the Grande Gringo on there. Pretty generous with that on this, just because it's a burrito, so you know I got to get that seasoning on there for that. And you can see these strips are starting to cook up pretty well, pretty quickly, because of how thin they are. Very thin, cooked very quick. It was very cold. I apologize for all the smoke coming up there. It's kind of hard to see, but move everything to the side. Then we got to clean this off with my griddle scraper. Make sure I get it nice and clean so I can build these burritos with the tortillas on there. So scrape it all down. Go ahead and hit it with a little water because I don't want those tortillas to get any of that nasty marinade that was on there. Get everything cleaned up. More oil. Now we got a clean griddle. Look at these big old 12-inch tortillas. We're going to go ahead and start to build our burritos. Yeah, we got everything on the left. That burner's all the way cut off. So we'll start with our rice, go ahead in there in each one. Then we'll go ahead with our peppers, or steak, and some of the peppers and onions. So look, that burner on the left is all the way cut off to hold warm. So I cut that off earlier. Actually, both of them are cut off, and then the ones on the right there are on low, just to warm these tortillas up and make them easier to roll, and then also kind of seal them at the end. So we're just filling each one: steak, rice, peppers, onions. You could add other stuff if you wanted to. Here's me rolling one of them up here. Do the old chipotle roll on it. So see, this should be a little easier to roll. A couple of them I didn't get as nice as I wanted to. Probably wouldn't make it past a half-hour shift at Chipotle, but yeah, I did the best I could here. You know, maybe I'd be good enough to work at Taco Bell. So here's the third one, rolling them all up, get a nice color on there, get them sealed. And then once they're all sealed, oh, that's the one that looked bad. So, all right, ignore that guy. Happy accidents, no mistakes. Happy accident burrito right there. Try to make them look pretty, put them all together there. And then we're going to put them, here comes the goodness. Yes, sir. Lots of this queso with chorizo in it. So now it just went from a steak burrito to like a smothered steak burrito. And I mean, no one's going to complain about that, right? Look how good that looks.
Speaking of that delicious cheese we saw there, it actually had chorizo in it and Velveeta. So when you start with those two ingredients, it's hard to go wrong. Here's how I made it. I'd highly recommend this for parties or easy appetizer while you're making a group other food for dinner. So chorizo first, maybe then people eat it while they're waiting for the smash burgers.
All right, so full disclosure, I warmed up that cast iron skillet on the stove, and then I put the cheese in there for the chorizo, which is just a whole block of Velveeta. So I got it warm, then I transferred it over to the griddle, threw down the peppers and onions, some more grande gringo, and then a thing of chorizo. So I kind of got it going first on the stove. That way it was easier, because if you had to heat your griddle and then heat up that cast iron, it's going to take a while, okay? So I did the cheese, kind of moved it over. Then I added the chorizo and then the peppers and the onions, chopped everything up, mixed it together, started just throwing it in there, just like tossing it in there. This is a good time if you have the perforated spatula, also known as the holy spatula or Jesus spatula, because it's holy, get it? Okay, anyway, sorry, no more dad jokes. You want to use that just to get rid of all the oil and stuff so you don't throw too much grease into the cheese over there. So here comes the chorizo. It's looking good. It's cooking down. A lot of flavor in there. And then we're going to throw that in there as well. So we got peppers, onions, chorizo, the queso cheese in there. The griddle's keeping it warm. We're just mixing it all together, giving it a good look. And it starts to get this beautiful color. And now we just wait until we threw it on top of those burritos.
Corn. I'm not sure if it's a vegetable. It's almost a vegetable, but maybe it's a starch. I don't know how they qualify that, because like you make cereal out of it. It's kind of like a grain if you ask me, but whatever. I'm not like a scientist, but it's almost healthy. So I added a bunch of bacon fried corn.
As a born and raised in Ohio boy, I would consider myself an expert in the area of corn. I've probably been fed that more than anything else my entire life. Started off some bacon, some pepper, some onions, and some corn in the can there. You might be asking yourself, wow, you couldn't just get some fresh corn like off the side of the road in Ohio where you live? Well, yes, I could have, but this was part of like a budget meal that I tried to make with hot dogs and fried corn. So I bought the cheap corn in the can. But, I put some seasoned salt on there, bacon, peppers, onions, fried it all up. Super easy, great side dish. Would highly recommend giving this a try. It went great with our hot dog. Here comes the corn expert. He's coming out looking for a side of bacon, but he didn't get any. Nope, not on this day. Anyways, it went great with these hot dogs that I made for the cookout. And I'd highly recommend this bacon fried corn.
Pork chop sandwich, famous from Chicago. This is very simple. Covered with onions, smothered, Texas toast. Love Texas toast. Still trying to get sponsored by Texas Toast. They don't pay me to say that, but I hope one day they will. Buy more Texas toast.
All right, here's some oil. I did a lot of oil to fry these little pork chop cutlets. I mean, a lot. Season them up with whatever you want. I just went heavy with a salt, pepper, garlic, and then some Cosmos Q seasoning. It was a Chipotle Killer Bee, and just tried to, I probably could have done even more looking at them now, but went heavy. A lot of oil. I really wanted to get this color on there. You can see I got a nice browning because I put a lot of oil down for these pork chops. And the other thing about that is then once I cook them, I want to then put my onions right in all of that leftover oil and the bits that cooked off there. And I just want to saute my onions with a whole pat of butter right in the leftover pork chop juices that are there. Oh, I also put some garlic in with the onions. So we're really going to saute these down, get more of that pork chop flavor, saute, fry these onions. I mean, this is just This is a messy sandwich, let's be honest here. These are not for the faint of heart. Pork chop dots about 150. So then I put them on top of the onions so more juice would go down in the onions and they would slowly get to 155, which is where I wanted them at. I don't want to overcook pork. And I domed it just to kind of steam it and to help the onions along. Now here comes the star of the show. Everyone knows I love this. This is obviously my favorite type of bread, Texas toast. Did one with butter, one with mayonnaise. The mayonnaise turned out looking a little bit better, so that is the one you'll see at the end. The butter tasted delicious, but the mayonnaise just looked better. So gotta try to make it look pretty. And let's check on these pork chops. Ignore the foil, that's coming later. We'll figure out what's in that later. Ooh, look at these onions cooking down with the pork chops right on top. There you go, that's the mayonnaise I'm talking about. Look at these two things. Oh, buddy. Those turned out great. Anyways, real straightforward sandwich. We're just going to do some mustard on both slices of bread. Not doing cheese. You totally could do cheese. I just chose not to because it felt like this is the way the sandwich is supposed to be in Chicago from my minor research I did by Googling it. Put down my pork chop. Topped it with some of those grilled onions that have just been sitting there and grilling up. And oh, look at those bad boys. That's what we're talking about. That's really what sets this sandwich off is the onions and the pork chop juice. Boom, pork chop sandwich. Definitely try one and get out your stretchy pants.
Grilled banana bread. This is not very difficult, but it is very delicious, and it's something I used to do almost every day for the 2 years that I worked at Bob Evans, and that's why I gained like 25 pounds. Well, that and the free biscuits and gravy. It's hard not to gain weight when you're walking into a place with free biscuits and gravy every day. But this banana bread's super easy. Put ice cream on top. I'd highly recommend giving it a try. You can do it real quick at the end of a meal.
Short and sweet. I'm not going to show you how to make banana bread because I did not make it for this recipe. I just got some from the store. All you're basically doing is just toasting this just like you would do bread, okay? Just throw it on there, butter it, flip it, toast it. But you wouldn't think to toast banana bread. Well, at least I didn't until I worked at Bob Evans and got bored. So toast both sides, be generous with the butter, top it with some ice cream, and then make sure you add plenty of chocolate syrup. Also, if you have walnuts, this would be a good time to add nuts to it. Those are always good with banana bread. Even better with a banana bread sundae, which is basically what this is, banana bread sundae.
Hey man, do you want a s'more? S'more of what? No, do you want a s'more? How can I have some more if I haven't had anything yet? Oh, you're killing me, Smalls. These are s'more stuff. First, you take the graham. Then, you put the chocolate on the graham. Then, normally you'd roast the mallow, put it on top of the chocolate. However, we're not roasting. We're going to put the mallow in there, wrap it all up in foil, toss it on the griddle. Now, you just flip it every now and then. Make sure it starts to melt. It probably only takes like 4 or 5 minutes. And then when you're done with your meal, you open up the foil and you got a s'mores. They're messy, but delicious. You should give them a try. And you should try one of these 10 meals that are on your screen right now.